Hey everybody, Brian Z back with video number 2 on establishing your ideal lifestyle. So in the previous video that we did, we went through the exercise of establishing all of the things that you need money for and need to pay for within your life, both actual and ideal, like what you actually want in your life, and future casting your perfect world is really your ideal lifestyle. So we came up with a number in the previous video of $100,000 a month. Okay, so your number is probably going to be different than that, but if you haven't done that exercise, I want you to go back and make sure you go ahead and do that. So very important to understand that. So what we're going to do is take that number and let's reverse engineer, and we're going to develop our work lifestyle. So part of your ideal lifestyle is not just the money piece, but how much are you working? You know, maybe you don't want to work at all. Maybe you want to work, you're young and energetic and you're willing to put in 50, 60 hours a week, or maybe you're somewhere in the middle. So most doctors I talk to are trying to work less, you know, they like to play golf, they like to do other things, so they want to establish their schedule a little bit differently. Some are able to do that, some are not. So we want to get you to where you can establish and create that schedule according to how you want to live your life, because we got one life to live here. Let's make sure it's the one that we want. So the first question we want to ask is, how many times per month do you want to see patients? So if you have a patient, you're going to see them, let's call it twice a month, every other week, something like that, kind of a standard thing. So how long per session do we have with each patient? So let's say you're in the treatment room for, you know, say 30 minutes. Obviously we know that there's other things that go into that, not just the actual minutes you're in the treatment room. So you have different things, research and buffers going between rooms and all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna call it an hour. So you know, some patients you're probably in and out. Some patients may take longer. Maybe this is totally up to you and how you work your practice. Now, the question number 3: what days of the week are you willing to work? So some practices the doctor wants to work, 3 days a week. Sometimes it's all 5s and maybe 6. And it just depends on you. So we're going to use a standard benchmark of 5 days. Maybe you want to take Wednesdays off to go play golf. Maybe you want to take, Wednesday afternoon and Friday afternoon to play golf. I like the golf example because I'm a former golf professional, so I know how doctors operate in that arena. Let's say we're going to roughly say 5 days a week. So how many hours per day are you willing to work out of those 5 days? So let's say it averages 6. Maybe you're going to take a couple of those afternoons off or whatever. So we're going to work a total of 30 hours a week, which is way better than working 70 or 80 to give you your ideal lifestyle. So at 5 days a week and 6 hours a day, we're going to have 120 hours per month available to see patients. So that's an important number because we're gonna back our way into that number. So at 120 hours per month and 2 hours per patient, we can see 60 patients. Okay, so 60 patients. We're going to take our $100,000 a month divided by our 60 patients is roughly $1,700 a patient. Very doable. So again, these numbers are going to fluctuate. Maybe you can see more patients, less patients, whatever it is. And then we have to the core concept here is to establish this number of what we need to charge per patient in order to get that ideal lifestyle. And then we can work the rest of the business plan and how we're going to get you where you need to be according to that number. So get this number in your head. It's not set in stone. It doesn't mean you change your prices tomorrow. It's just something we're going to start to work off of moving down the road. So you'll start to see that it is very doable in how you're going to work your practice. And don't forget, this is not, we work with different types of doctors. So if you're not able to charge, or the value of a client is not as high as you need it to be when you do your calculation, we can talk about the growth in other ways in order to get you to where that is. So maybe it's adding another doctor, maybe it's opening another clinic or buying another clinic, which is one of the things that I know about. So So keep that in mind. Don't say this is right or wrong, or I'll never get there, or anything like that. Just establish the number, and then we're gonna work with you on that number from there. So hopefully this helps. Part one was establishing the figures month to month, And then part 2 is establishing how much you're going to work and what we need to charge. So hopefully this helps, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.